Hi students, myself Poornima, I am your biology educator. In this class, you are going to study the K-CET questions of evolution chapter. Find the mismatch from the following pairs. That is divergent evolution, thorn of bougainvillea and tendril of cucurbita. Option B, adaptive radiation, Australian marsupials. Option C, natural selection, industrial melanism. And option D, genetic drift, constant gene frequency. So here what it is, see, divergent evolution means it is having the same origin but different structure and different function. The thorn of bougainvillea, both the thorn and the tendril are arising from the axillary bud. It is having the same origin, that is axillary bud, but the different structure is the thorn and as well as the tendril. So it is having the correct match. Okay. Then adaptive radiation was studied with the example of Australian marsupials. So it is also a correct match. Option C. Natural selection, that is industrial melanism. Natural selection, in order to study the natural selection, they have studied the butterfly that has been present in the England. Do you remember that short story? So what has happened is there was a completely a green forest, but later on the green forest was turned into a industrial area. The butterfly or the moth, which was green in color, that was camouflaging to the earlier environment, was easily identified by the predator. What has happened ultimately, it has changed its color totally. It has changed its color from green to brown. It has camouflaged itself in order to survive. That is the survival of the fittest or the natural selection that we can study in the industrial melanism. So this is also correct match. What about here, genetic drift, that is constant gene frequency. Please remember, genetic drift is a random changes that has been occurring in this small population. Okay, it is a random changes that is occurring. It is never a constant one. So here our answer will be D. Why? It is not a correct match over here, or it is not a constant gene frequency. It is never, it is a random change in the gene frequency. Next, identify the correct equation for the Hardy-Weinberg law. Here, the P equals to the dominant frequency of the dominant allele. Okay, frequency of dominant allele, whereas Q equal to frequency of recessive allele, right? So here Hardy-Weinberg equation is P plus Q equal to 1. That is option A is the correct answer. Next question, that is question number 3. Which of the following is the identifiable character of Neanderthal man? Neanderthal man, I will say his one small character, that is he is the only man who has practiced the burying of the dead body. That impacts that he is socialized man, or he is aware of the society. So he was never having the brain capacity was not 650 to 800, it is nearly about 1400 cc. He was having the more brain capacity, and developed in the prehistoric option B, developed prehistoric cave art. See, this cave art all you can see nearly in the modern human, not in the ancient man. Next, option C, lived before 2 million years ago. No, students, he has lived before 4 lakh years, 4 lakh to 40,000 years ago. Okay, not 2 million years ago. Buried the buried their dead body. That is the correct answer. He has buried the dead body. Next, identify the plants that are dominant during the Jurassic period. Here one thing, Jurassic period is also called as age of cycads. Okay, Jurassic period is also called as age of cycads. So which of the following is having the cycads here? Option A, angiosperm and bryophytes. The angiosperm always it has developed after gymnosperm. Either cycads or conifers, they are belonging to the gymnosperm group. So after gymnosperm, the angiosperm has developed. The option A is wrong. Then Stephanopsida and ginkgoks, it is also not our answer. See, in the option C, ferns, conifers and cycads, Let's look at the option D also. Monocotyledons and arborescent lycopods. No, this is not our answer. So our answer will be option D. Why? Because it is having the gymnosperm, that is conifers and the cycads. Next question. The primary gases that were used by Miller in his experiment. See, Stanley Miller has conducted the experiment where he created the artificial earth. The artificial earth was consisting of ammonia, that is CH4, methane, hydrogen gas, water molecule or the water vapors. All these gases were present. Along with that, he has introduced the electric spark that led to the reaction and produced the simple organic materials, that is the amino acid. So here he has used which of the gases that he has used here. See, please correct this option. It must be H2O. Option A, CH4, NH3, H2O, H2. Option B, CH4, CO2, N2, SO2. Option C, CH4, CO2, N2, NH. Option D, CH4, N2, NH3, H2. It looks like same answers here, but please focus. That is option A, CH4, methane, ammonia, water and hydrogen molecule. That is our option A is the answer here. Then question number 6. The allele frequency of A, capital A and small a in a population are P equal to 0.6. Okay. Then Q equal to 0.4. What they have asked, expected frequency of heterozygous individual. So 2PQ, it is the frequency of heterozygous individual, that is 2 into 0.6 into 0.4. The answer will be 0.48. But all our answers are in term of the percentage. So take the percentage of this 0.48 into 100, that is 48 percentage. Option A is the right answer. Hello students. Are you preparing for NEET, JEE or K-CET? Looking for the right guidance to achieve your dream rank? Welcome to Global Academy live coaching classes, single point and complete solution for competitive exam preparation. Specially designed for 11th and 12th or PUC 1 and 2 students, combining board syllabus with entrance exam coaching. New batches starting from 25th March 2026 for the academic year 2026-27. Course fees 9,999. Now, with 50% discount, enroll for just 4,999 for the entire course. Limited seats available. Enroll today. For any enquiry, call to these numbers. Scan QR code for easy payment. Next, the brain capacity of Homo habilis is. What is the brain capacity? See, Homo habilis was the man that was present in the ancient period. Okay, directly we can call it as he is our ancestor. Okay, so usually ancestor is having the very less brain capacities formed here. So in this option, option A is having 1800 cc. That is also slightly a big brain capacity, whereas option B, that is between 650 to 800 cc. Option C 900 cc. Option D is 1400 cc. Which among the following is having least brain capacity, that is between 650 to 800 cc? Option B is the correct answer. Next, in Bougainvillea and Cucurbita, the axillary bud is modified into thorn and tendril respectively. This is an example for. In the previous, I think in the question number 1, beginning only have explained. See, the axillary bud is having, it is a common origin. Which one? Axillary bud is the common origin. Okay. And it, you can say it as it is having the common origin. It has been modified into tendril and thorn. Okay, it is having the different structure and different function. So in the divergent evolution, what they are speaking, it is having the same origin but different structure and different functions. So it is an example. Bougainvillea and cucurbita, its tendril and thorn are the example for the divergent evolution. Next, which of the following was the biggest land dinosaurus? See, among this, Option D, Brachiosaurus is the biggest land dinosaurs because it is having the long neck, large body, and also it is having a good height. Means the large height is also present. So Brachiosaurus is a biggest land dinosaurs. Next, in a population of the plants, some were extremely tall. Okay, some will be extremely tall. These are the tall plants, and the remaining were extremely dwarf. Okay, these are the extremely dwarf plants. No plants of the population showed intermediate height. Means which population? See, the other population haven't showed the intermediate height. Means it either it is not too tall or too dwarf also. So why they are asking the reason why it has not showed a good intermediate height here? Because students, the natural selection has favored either the extreme height of the plant or the dwarf plant, not the middle height, not the intermediate height. It has favored. So all the intermediate height plant has been eliminated. This you can see it as disruptive selection, not the balancing. When you can see it as balancing, when all the kinds of plants are available, then you can call it as the balancing. Nor it is directional also, not it is present only in the one side, you cannot observe the plants. Or the stabilizing also, when there are all the kind of plants are present, then only you can call it as stabilized. But here some growth is disrupted, so it is an example for disruptive natural selection. Next, the first human like being is, it is the Homo sapiens. It is a scientific name. Okay, it is a scientific name. Option A will be the scientific name. Homo erectus. Option C, Homo mentos. It is not at all a name, it is totally a incorrect name, you can say. So the remaining option is B and D. Homo habilis. It is the first human like being it has been formed. Homo habilis. Later on, after Homo habilis, Homo erectus has been developed. So our answer will be your option D, that is Homo habilis. Which of these is not an example for adaptive radiation? See, Australian marsupials are the a good example for the which one? Adaptive radiation. Placental mammals. It is also an example for adaptive radiation in the different habitats. Whereas Darwin finches also has been studied under the adaptive radiation. It is also good example for the adaptive radiation only. Option C, that is long-necked giraffe. It is an example for the directional selection. Okay, it is a good example for the directional selection. You can see the neck of giraffe, right? That is why they have given example for it as directional selection. So here, which is not an example for adaptive radiation, that is long-necked giraffe is not an example for the adaptive radiation. Next, in a population of 800 rabbits showing Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, the frequency of recessive individual was, so here P plus Q equal to 1, okay, P square plus 2PQ plus Q square equal to 1. What is Q square there? Q square equal to 0.16. What they have asked us to identify, that is frequency of heterozygous individual. Let us calculate Q first. Q equal to square root of 0.16, that is Q equal to 0.4. Let us calculate P, that is equate the Q in this equation 1. Okay, Q answer is 0.4, that is equal to 1. P equal to 1 minus 0.4, P equal to 0.6. So 2 into P into Q. What is the answer? 2 into 0.6 into 0.4, that is 0.48. Okay, option A is the answer. Frequency of the heterozygous individual is 0.48. Stanley Miller stimulated the condition of the prebiotic earth using spark discharge apparatus. Which organic compound are observed by him on analyzing the end product of the experiment? So Stanley Miller, he conducted an experiment where he created the artificial atmosphere using methane, amino groups or amino, then water molecule, water vapors, hydrogen, all these things were used to create the artificial atmosphere, and later on he injected this molecule into the spark that led to the formation of the simple organic compound. Among this formation of the simple organic compound, the first products was the amino acid. So the end products here is amino acid. This is all about the today's class, that is of the KCET question that has been asked in the chapter of evolution.